Yeah, let's get. When I pull up in the spot, they be asking what I got. Gas for an extra mile, an extra inch for the dot. When I pull up in the spot, better show me what you got. Red beam, headshots, you better give me what you. Yeah, let's get. When I pull up in the spot, they be asking what I got. Gas for an extra mile, an extra inch for the dot. When I pull up in the spot.
To episode 50. My name is Rinae. I grew up in Diepsloot, and I'm like any other black child who's figuring out life, doing what they have to do to ensure that they represent the black community. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another smashing episode. You know what time it is. My name is Sam. So let's just get straight into it. Let's not waste any time because we're on episode 50. We'll be cooking. Welcome to the show, my guy. It's been a while since we finally having to sit down. He's one of the friends of the podcast. People that actually were behind the whole thing, like the cooking behind the scene. So today we're just gonna have a conversation with him about different things, and also, a whole lot of different things. But firstly, I just want him to tell us a bit about himself, where he grew up, those type of things.
I grew up in Diepsloot. Came here as a can't recall how old I was, but I was in grade 6, and it was a very challenging environment. For those that know Diepsloot, you would realize that it's not easy. It's one of the toughest communities that you can grow up in. Given the lack of opportunities that are here, lack of infrastructure, and a whole lot of other social ills that are prevalent in the community. So, I grew up here, and I started my schooling at from grade 6 at Diepsloot to combined school, and I moved from that school. The following year, I went into a new school, Musengabazimu Primary School, and from there onwards, I went to St. Ansgar's. That's where I did my entire high school. And the most entertaining part about being in a community like Diepsloot is it builds your character. One way or the other, it will get you to be a person who can face anything. And my highlight of my childhood has always been sports. I played sports. So there's 3 things that I used to do as a child. I went to school, came back from school, opened a spaza shop for my mom, and I went to train. And that's how my entire childhood was like. So I'm someone who was shaped by hard work, competitiveness, and being a survivor in a community like Diepsloot.
Like growing up in Diepsloot, there's always that thing where you move from a different place, right? So when you got here, what image did you have of this place?
So the first time I came here, at first we took a bus that was from Venda in Chiguran. And I go to Joburg Park Station. I'm seeing tall buildings. I'm like, okay, this is a great feel. I'm here. I'm finally in the city. And we took a taxi. I'm looking by the window, checking as to what's going on, and I'm seeing some beautiful pictures, beautiful houses, a lot of beautiful cars, lots of lights. I mean, it was in the evening when we came, and I'm like, this is what they mean when they say this is the city of life, the city of gold, and the lights are clearing every direction. And when we were passing by Foley's, there was a long part of the drive where it was just quiet and there's nothing, it's dark. And I'm asking myself a lot of questions to say, okay, what's going on now? And eventually we arrived at Diepsloot, and I saw so many shacks. I've never seen so many shacks in my life. In fact, where I'm from, originally in Venda, shacks are normally structured to house chickens and goats and stuff like that. So when I saw that picture, and I'm a kid who has only seen such structures being housed, being used to house your chickens and stuff. And looking into that, I was asking myself, and I even asked my dad at the time, because I had my dad, what's going on? Where are we going? And he was like, no, this is Diepsloot. This is where we are going to stay. And that was my reality, and I just had to deal and adjust with the reality that I was faced with. And that is when a survival in me was born. From that day, I had to realize that I will have to be comfortable with the fact that I'm going to share a structure that I always associated it with animals and chickens being housed in such structures.
Which is something that was difficult for a lot of people when they firstly moved here. Also it was a bit difficult for me also, you know. But then you know how it is, you just have to adjust. But like I know you're big in sports. You used to play soccer. You played for a couple of teams. I think Rinae FC was one of the teams that you played for.
Not really Rinae FC, but I can just give you a picture on that, because I feel part of me that has been the one thing that has been a game changer for me. I played for I forgot the name, but it's a team that was based in Bangamani, coached by Brian. It's Kopano FC. That is the team that I would say I first played for, because all other teams I also didn't really understand what was going on, but I've always been a guy who was playing sport, from running, athletics at schools. So I played for Kopano FC, and at first I was not really that good at it, and I am one person whom, or rather the home that I was raised in, they want me to account in everything that I do. So if I'm playing soccer, I need to give report as to how do I play, what are the games like. I remember the first time we played, we were losing so much, and some scores were so embarrassing that I had to divide by 3 or by 4 when I give feedback at home. There's a game that I played, the first 2 games that I played, I remember we lost, I think it was about 10, if not 11. And then when I went home, my dad was like, how did you play? Because I know my dad is very competitive, and he's someone who, if I told him that we lost 11-0, he was going to stop me and say, you'd rather stay home and take care of the garden or something and not go there because you're wasting your time. And I had to divide that score. I was like, we lost 4-0. And the reception that I got, or rather the feedback that he gave, was still equally as shocking as if I mentioned the 11. So I was like, don't believe this guy knew that we lost 11. So that is where I come from. But it sort of helped me and shaped me in the sense that I needed to play and ensure that I contribute towards the team to ensure that we do not get to be beaten at 11. And we get to a point where I also want to give feedback to say, hey, today we won.
Yeah,
today we won
3-game win type of situation.
100%.
But like, we're talking about Rinae FC.
Yes.
Which other teams do you play for?
Outside of Diepsloot, I played for African Eagles. It was a team based in Dainfen.
The one owned by who? Skara Team.
Skara Team used to own the team. I think that exposure, it sort of helped me to be the man that I am today. And I am in Diepsloot where there's hardly an experience where you can get fresh air. I mean, there's Baula bending from left and right and center. You've got noise pollution where every second house that you are exposed to is a tavern. You've got mob justice happening left and right and center. Crime is the order of the day. Taxi related violence it's something that is no longer surprising. So when I went into that environment, it was a good walk from William Nicol, now Mandikizela Mandela tribe, to walk from there to the Infant College, which is where the team used to train on Saturdays, and all our home games, they were also situated in the Infant College. So waking up in Diepsloot and being in that environment where as soon as you go in there, it's quiet. You can even listen to your own footsteps. You can actually get to listen to birds that are buzzing in the morning. So it was one of the most memorable things that I have about my childhood, in the sense that I'm seeing beautiful cars that are going in and out of Dayton. I'm seeing beautiful houses, double-story houses that are inside gated communities within the very same space. And that child in me who has been exposed to so much that is going on in Diepsloot felt like one day I would want to have this kind of life. I would like to actually drive from this community wherein I get to listen to my inner thoughts because of the quietness that the environment had afforded. So that is one thing that I used to look forward to. Every Saturday for me, it was that one environment where I get to run away from and access to see that there's more to life than being in a chaotic environment. There's more to life than being in a township where you seem like you're trapped and there is nothing that is going on, or there is no sense of positivity that is happening in that environment. So that exposure, I think it was a game changer, and I didn't know how, but I just knew that I need to find myself living in an environment like that. And if I were to have a family, which I do now, I would want them to be in that space. Yeah.
Let's get into your career. Let's get into your career. Just tell us a bit about because you also own a couple of businesses that you operate. Just get into it. Just tell us a bit what you do and the type of business that you're into.
Okay. So after matric, my matric was not really that amazing, but I did manage to pass in a way in which it allowed me to go into an environment of higher learning. So I did information technology at Varsity College, and I also went on to study business management and entrepreneurship at University of Johannesburg. And thereafter I got interested in working in the environment where in insurance environment, where we sold short-term insurance, and it's an environment which I still consult in at this point in time. And the amount of businesses that I've owned, funny you mention it, because I actually started running a business at the age of 12. I have been saving my whole life. I've been saving sweets at school, and I just knew that I need to have X amount of money to buy stock, and I would make my profits each and every week. While everyone was going to school to play and learn, I want to play and learn and earn. So I think that level of exposure to money at that age, it has sort of set me up to be someone who's always selling something. I'm constantly selling something, and I did a lot of consultation. I consult for smaller businesses wherein we specialize in marketing, sales, and we also do dealings with regards to distributions as well. I recently started a new business that is focusing a lot more into transportation of luxury furniture and we also do a lot of assistance with people that are moving from A to B. But specifically, the niche that we are looking into is people that are moving luxury furniture. So that is the space that I'm in, and that is the latest gig that I'm busy with at the moment.
And like, how do you find the balance? Businesses, you consulting and running also a logistic business.
So the most important thing which I learned from an early age, and all thanks to my mom, is to have structures in place. If you have structures in place, it takes care of a lot of your issues away. There's currently 3 active businesses that are currently operating. The one business that I am entirely running is the consulting, because that depends a lot on me using my IP, my skill set that I know in the field that I consult in to actually do the business. So in that space, I am the business. So it's just a matter of ensuring that I schedule myself accordingly to be able to entertain the clientele that I service. And there is a logic of delegation wherein there are certain things that does not need me specifically. I mean, there is spaces where I do not need to be there, but I just need to get to outlay the mandate of what needs to be done, and I just need to follow up and get ongoing feedback as to how's that going. And the moment you build a team that is responsible enough, they are able to do well with or without you being actually there. Because think about it, the problem that a lot of us tend to have is when we are building businesses, we just want to be the main man, we just want to be hands-on and be part and parcel of
the face of the brand also.
100%. But the problem with that is that, say I'm in the retail space and I want to have a shop in all the 9 provinces in South Africa. I can't be in 9 provinces all at once. And if I'm an entrepreneur who wants to grow a business, I need to build structures that will enable those businesses to be able to thrive without me physically being there. There just need to be structures in place that allows accountability with what is going on and the runnings of the business. And the compliance part of things needs to be taken into account as well.
But do you think the fact that already loans already start from a young age, do you think that it played a role in the current businesses?
It did. There's a magic of understanding markup. I'm buying a pack of sweets. That pack has 100 sweets in it. I paid 5 rand for that pack. I'm selling each sweet 50 cents from that pack. I'm going to make a profit. And if I want to grow, my understanding is that since when I have the 10 rands that can afford me to buy 1 pack, I need to go and get 2 packs. 2 packs will give me a lot more profit than I receive just by selling the 1 pack. And it goes with the level of responsibilities that goes with owning a business, to say, okay, I am running business A, this is how it's doing, this is how it's doing. If I want to replicate the model and have another business that is running similarly to this ongoing business, I need to make sure that there's someone who can be able to do what I'm doing with this business. And the more I get to replicate that, the easier it gets for me to be able to own and get to understand the model that I'm running. So it's something that I feel it's valuable so much so that as soon as my son is able to, I would make sure that he is able to sell, because it's very, very, very key skill that one
is to have. And also as a kid, that's something that one needs to have.
Funny enough, I'm wondering as to why is it that when we do life skills at school, there's a subject that is called life orientation. I think it's critical that the department needs to find ways to infuse selling as one of the life skills that I've been taught. We need to be intentional about the fact that our people or the kids that are going through school, they need to get to understand the fundamental importance of knowing how to sell.
But there was EMS at some point, I think grade 8, 9, but from there it explored, which used to focus on it, on selling in other things. But when you from grade 10 go to the other side, it's, there's nothing.
I wouldn't say EMS was focused on teaching people how to sell. I think it focused a lot more into equipping us with a basic understanding of finances per se. And this is just getting to understand the fundamentals to see, okay, there's an element of tax, there's an element of interest and stuff like that. Being able to calculate those things, it's very important. As people that are now dealing with baby orders, high finance purchase and stuff like that, it's important we need to understand things such as interest rate. But equally so, we also need to get to understand the importance of knowing how to sell.
Yeah.
And the confusion that a lot of people tend to have with the element of selling is you need to be selling a product. But it's not only that. There are people who are very gifted, that are talented with the talents like singing, sporting talents, whatever it is that they are gifted with. But
it's also service.
100%, but they are unable to sell themselves or rather package themselves as a brand and sell themselves out there. And we can even bring it as close to home as possible. And a simple interview, when you are being interviewed to get a job, it's all about selling yourself. The one who is able to sell themselves a lot better than the next guy will get the job.
Yeah, will get the job.
It's as simple as that.
I think it's something that I don't know, it's something that you need to have a workshop motto so that a lot of people get to understand this is how you sell yourself. Because a lot of people when it's time to go to interviews, they get nervous. Like they can't sell themselves.
You're absolutely right. I do sit in a lot of interviews where when you look into the CV is giving you someone who is highly competent. But when you then focus to the person that owns the CV, it doesn't match up. Like there are gaps in between where you feel like my guy, you are so skilled, you've got all these qualifications, but you can't speak to it. You can't package yourself nice enough to say, hey, this is me, this is a gift that I feel I can make a difference with it. And we are now in a situation where a lot of people who are very qualified, they are highly skilled, but they still have that logic where they feel like you have to feel for them. Forgetting that they are actually selling a service. So if I hire you into any of the stuff that I do or any of my businesses, I want you to come and render a service. And I'm not gonna pay you because I feel like okay, I need to pay you because of the responsibilities. I need to have or rather see the value that you're putting into what you do or the value that you add into what I do in order for me to be able to be compensated accordingly.
This is something that it's very important. That when you're offering a service, you have to offer quality service because at the end of the day, it's a service that needs to be paid. But people can't pay for quantity when you look at it like quality service. That's just how it goes when it comes to business.
We touched on a very important aspect. The biggest mistake that we tend to have, and I will call a lot of our people out as far as black businesses. There is a narrative that is being pushed to say, just because I'm black, support black businesses. I've got no problem with supporting black businesses, but let us support black businesses that are adding value or rather that are selling something that is of value. if you are a broad business and you're doing great and you are selling something which is of high quality, I don't mind, I don't have an issue shouting your name or sharing your details to the next person or referring you to people that can also give you a main business. It's something that we also tend to downplay a lot, which we shouldn't.
I think we have this mindset that just because of our black, they have to support it. I think it's has to do with entitlement. That's what you do with the business. Because if you do a lot of business, once you give them a review of the service, if it's negative, they call you a hater. But if it's positive, I don't want to post, but I say it's like a shop. So it's just some of the things that we, as a black nation, we need to learn. Service is very important.
It's crucial. It's very, very crucial. I mean, how I look into service is I look into the way in which I do one thing, it's sort of overlapping to how I do everything. And by that I mean, if I am building a business, I treat that business as a child. So when I have a child that is learning how to walk, I understand that they will fall a lot of times and they will fall. As much as they fall, I still need to gather the strength to encourage them to keep on trying. Because if I don't, they will just be at a point in time where they are not growing, when they are just there, they will grow for as long as they need to. But the mistake that we tend to make is thinking that criticism is important.
It's very important.
You cannot improve if you are not open to criticism. And equally so, the people that you have around you, if you want people that only says good things about you, you must also reassess the environment that you are in, because that can possibly mean that you are in a very wrong environment. And you should be comfortable enough to be in a position where you can be criticized without taking offense, but with an open mind to take learnings out of it. I think that is the only thing that every person that has ever done anything in life, they had to go through it. I mean, people that are in high positions of power, even today, they say that criticism is fleeting, and then they keep on growing themselves, and evolving back into whatever it is that they are being criticized, they improve and get better.
No, that's the most important thing. That's the very most important thing.
100%.
Let's get into fatherhood. We live in a generation where, like, it's extreme. We know everything is extreme, and you find that there's because a lot of people, some they don't know this. There's a difference between a present dad and an active dad. Because some are dead, but they're not active in their child's life. How is it being a father in this generation?
Oh, being a father it's amazing. It's I think it has brought me so much more than I thought it would, and I am grateful for my son, so much so that I am now a complete version of myself because of him. And I'll break that down for you to get to understand. So in South Africa, there is 32% of fathers that are actively involved in the lives of their kids. Now I like it the way Zulus phrased it. A father in Zulu is Uyihlo. And you can interpret that as an eye or someone who is the vision bearer of the family, or a sense of direction for the family. So meaning that if you are an active and present father in the life of the kid, you get to give exactly that, a sense of direction and a sense of purpose. And you also get to be the person who to guide the little one to be who they want to be. So for me, there is a lot of things that behavior-wise, I was not as structured as I am now as a father. And it's because of the way in which I want my son to have a father who is a role model who he can look up to and whom he can model around to be a better person. Imagine if my son needs to look up to someone who is in Bumalanga or who is in America to become a better person. They get to see the glimpses of what that person does or what they are about. But with me being presently here, he gets to see every little thing that I get to do.
Yeah, and he gets to understand.
He gets to understand. And when he doesn't understand, he's got the luxury of asking to say, why are you doing this way? Or why must I do this? Or why are you doing this? And the more you feed into those whys that come from your child, the more you are actually shaping them to be who they need to be. And to tell you off, I was fortunate to say that I grew up in an environment where my father was very, from being a provider, I've seen him providing, from being someone who disciplined me when I'm misbehaving or I'm doing what I'm not supposed to be doing. He was there to do all of it. But we've got situations where our brothers, especially black brothers, they are evading their responsibilities of being presently there to shape the lives of the little ones. Let me make an example that might look simple, but it's very relevant. And I'm talking from someone who was born of lifestyle farmers. My dad and my mom, they are lifestyle farmers. So they prepare the soil before the plant, and then they apply fertilizer before the plant, and then they will get to start planting. Before all of that, there's a lot of planning that goes into the process. The watering of the soil before the planting, there is that process as well. And then there's also the planting process where they actually have to plant the seeds. And after planting the seeds, they still need to water the farm. And after watering the farm, the plants will start showing after a couple of weeks. There is weeds that will develop. So as much as the fertilizer is meant for the seeds in the plant, the weeds also tend to take advantage of the fertile environment. And they would need to go back there and take the weeds out so that the weeds doesn't feed off the fertilizer that is meant to feed the crops. Now, you are a father, you bear the child, but you are not there to actually ensure that there is a process where you are instilling discipline. There is a process where you are sharing love with that neighborhood. There is a process where you are emotionally and financially supporting them. And by supporting your kids financially doesn't mean that you need to be buying all this expensive stuff or sending your kids to expensive schools. If you have the means, I would encourage you to do that, because it also gives that middle learning exposure
to better things and better life.
100%.
But most of them, they just provide. They feel like if I provide my kids whatever, it's okay. I'm fathering that way. I'm a good father.
Let's go back to that funny example that I made. So we planted crops there, right? And there is a weed that is also growing, feeding off the fertile ground that has been prepared for the crops. The funny thing is that the crops, they need dedicated care in order for them to grow the way they need to. And it's pretty much how you would behave as a parent. I will now try and make a direct connection between the two scenarios that I've given. So if I am presently there, I'm able to go to monitor the type of content that my child has to see if they are consuming YouTube, for example. As much as there are cartoons that tend to feed into the mind of the little one slightly different. I'll make an example. There's a character called Big Boss, very violent. Someone who constantly is bossing everyone around, fighting, screaming and shouting. If you expose that type of content to a 1-year-old, 2-year-old, or a 3-year-old, even a 5-year-old, they get to harbor those sentiments of the type of behavior that they are consuming into how they engage and how they actually respond to situations. So you want to be in a situation where you are exposed to a child that is growing in an environment where there is no regular or there is no balance to say this is wrong, this is right, this is good, this is bad. You need to have that ability to be able to guide and nurture your kids in that environment. So
but also, what's your question? I also think on people that create such content where kids are going to watch, but it's actually teaching them all the wrong things.
It's a system. It's a system. So remember, everything that is happening now is as a result of something that someone intentionally planned to say, this is how I want people to consume this material, and this is how I want them to respond after consuming this material. And I can break it down a bit further to say, everything that happens in this society, it has a currency. For example, if I want to create a material that tends to influence level of violence or crime, there is a market for it. While people are being arrested, people are in prisons, there's someone who is actually making profit and benefiting from it. So the moment a certain behavior is not producing certain outcomes, there's someone out there who will also be bearing the price as far as the profits are concerned. So I think, especially around the black communities, there is a currency that thrives with our dysfunction.
Yeah, that is true.
There is that. I'm speaking from someone who has lived in an environment like Diepsloot, and someone who has managed to live in an environment outside of Diepsloot. Sanskrit is interpreted differently. So I'm in a situation where actually let me pose it this way. I had a situation where I was writing exams, staying in Diepsloot. There was a party next door, it was noisy, I couldn't focus on my studies. There is a local police department that is within the community. I gave them a call to say, hey, the bylaws do not allow the level of noise that we are experiencing here. Can you kindly intervene? They're like, okay, we will send a van that will come and sort out the problem. That means we weren't all TV ABAs, me and him.
So you think there's a system that is actually that community?
There is a system that is designed simply so to keep us in an environment where it is chaotic. Think of it this way. If you were to put 200 people in a space that is meant to be occupied by 50 people, thing that we are going to have, whether we like it or not, people will step on each other's toes. And when people step on each other's toes, the natural response to that is they have to fight each other. They have to eliminate each other to create space for themselves. And this is exactly what we are seeing in an environment like Diepsloot.
But also, do you think us as a black community, black men, do you think we still play a role in molding nation the young generation?
Yes, we are. And I'll also touch the parenting part of things. Growing up in Diepsloot, I grew up with peers who would be able to leave their house and come back in the early AMs. And we're talking about teenagers, people of age. My question is, if that person is living with the parent, what is the parent saying about that situation? And it goes back to the fundamental parenting decision. There is no intentional approach into how we parent. As much as you are seeing a 18-year-old that is going to a tavern to go and buy a bottle of beer for their parents, before you know it, that person is going into that tavern to buy that bottle for themselves. You're sending kids to go and buy a loose roll at a tavern that is meant to only accommodate people that are 18 and above. A 10-year-old, a 9-year-old, every single day they go in and out of the tavern buying alcohol for their parents, or for the builders, or whoever. So they grow up in an environment where they are comfortable with doing things that shouldn't be comfortable for a child of that age.
I think also as society we normalize a lot of things that are not supposed to be normal.
We normalize it.
We will celebrate teenage pregnancy, we do baby showers for a 15-year-old, which is something that doesn't make sense to me. It will never make sense to me. But I think some as a black nation, we're losing it.
We are losing it, and it needs more now to make a difference. And if we're bringing back the statistics, it can't be normal that only 32% of young black South Africans grow up in an environment where the fathers are present.
Yeah, it's really sad actually. It's really sad.
I mean, even if it was a 50-50 split, how is it better? But now we are in a situation where it's actually a luxury to be in an environment where your father is in life.
And actually active in your life. Because you can be there financially but not being active in your life.
I see a lot of interviews on different platforms where you find young women selling their babies and stuff. And when you start digging deep to understand their stories, majority of them they are living, or rather they grew up in households where the fathers are not present. Now, as a young girl that has never really, there's a saying that says, a young girl's first love is their father.
Yes, their father.
Now, if the father is not there, it means that anything that looks like a man will be whatever it is that they are exposed to. They find themselves in situations where they end up in situations which are volatile, in a sense where they are exposed to predators.
Yeah.
So, I grew up in an era when my dad was not only my dad, but even the next door neighbor, who is the father of my friend, was my dad. If that man were to see me smoking or drinking at that age, I'm getting a beating, and I will take it like I would when it's been given by those father.
Because there's that saying, it takes a village to raise a child.
Spot on.
But now it seems like you can't discipline somebody else's child. If you find a child smoking and you decide that you discipline them, you call me, I call the cops. I think that's what we're using it as a negation.
There's a problem with it. And I think a lot of black single mothers, they are bringing a lot of burden that we don't speak a lot about. And in most instances, it's going to create toxic environment.
Yeah.
And whether rightfully so or I'm not one to judge because I do not understand the circumstances behind it. But I can only imagine you are a young woman, you have to play the role of a father and a mother.
Which is tough.
It's demanding, not only demanding emotionally, physically it's demanding, and financially. I mean, it's not, you and I, you cannot sit here and act like there are fathers out there who are not supporting their kids, where the mother has to go all the way from nurturing, from financially supporting, being emotionally there. Sometimes it can be a lot. It can be a lot for one person to do all of it. Hence, by design, maybe it's meant to be done by two people.
Yeah.
So the problem with that is that we tend to have the situations where, unfortunately, kids tend to be weaponized as a result. And then when in such circumstances, it doesn't help making those kids growing up to be better people at the end of the day. So I think the reform as far as the family dynamic and structures around families, it needs to be emphasized a lot around being honest with ourselves as a community to say we cannot have a situation where we are okay. I mean, that deadbeat father who is not available, who is not supporting their child, they are someone's brother, they are someone's child, they are someone's neighbor.
But they don't call them out.
He normalized calling them out.
The other problem that I've noticed is that they don't call them out because they buy them out. They buy them stuff.
So if you have a child and you are not supporting your child, you are not actively involved in your child's life, you can never be at home.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You can never find a situation where there is 5 cats and you are amongst them and you are not the same. It cannot be. We cannot have a situation where we've got parents that are looking into such situations and they're not calling out their children.
I think that's where it needs to start. Like, that's where we need to start. Calling out those people, like calling out the men that's not supporting the people, the cheap kids. And we need to stop this thing about he's my brother.
There's a pandemic, especially in an environment like the one that we grow up with, going the truth. One thing that I've picked up or that I've seen happening a lot more than it should have is especially around families where there's a single parent that is bearing all the time. Now, the mistake that a lot of them tend to do is they try to cover the gap or the void that is left by the father by stealing their kids, by buying them things, by giving them money. The cheese boy mentality. We've seen a lot of things that grew up as kids that had access to things, kids that had access to wearing branded clothing, kids that had that carried a lot of money. A lot of money that even some of working people didn't have at the time. And instead of doing something that was supposed to do them good, he ended up giving them access to alcohol at an early age, access to drugs, access to
Yeah, let's get. When I pull up in the spot, they be asking what I got. Gas for an extra mile, an extra inch for the dot. When I pull up in the spot, better show me what you